Hello everyone, welcome back. So in a couple of my videos I was talking about retirement and so forth. I've made several videos about retiring, what I've done and so forth. There were a lot of comments about what about health insurance? What do you do about health insurance? Now, I'm not a health insurance expert by no means. For those of you that might have come to my channel because of Sarasota Tim. If you don't know Sarasota Tim, you can check out his channel. He's just a guy that just shoots videos. He just kind of videotaping his life, and what he thinks about things, what he does on a daily basis. And in one of his videos, he said that he thinks it's better to not have any health insurance. He tried to do the math for health insurance and said, for how many times you go to a hospital or go for a doctor visit, he said it's not worth it. He said you might as well save the money and then just pay for your doctor visits out of your own pocket. Now, that might have been good advice for him because maybe he's never been to a hospital. Maybe he's never had to go to a doctor very often. Some of us don't. Some of us are very lucky and we don't have to go to doctors and we don't have hospital visits and things like that. But this is very risky advice. And as with everything else, as with deciding on retiring, it's a very personal decision that we all have to make. But here's the thing. Now, I'm wearing glasses today. These are very old glasses. Tomorrow, I'm having my right eye cataract surgery, and in 2 weeks after that, I'm going to have the left eye cataract surgery. Cataract surgery, on average, is about $3,000 to $5,000 per eye. So that's $10,000 right there. Now, I did some other research, and these are things you can find online that can help us to decide if we think we need health insurance or not. And the numbers do vary, and you can find these numbers online. The average cost of a hospital stay per day is $2,500 per day. Okay? The average hospital stay is 4 to 5 days. So that's about $12,000 for 4 to 5 days of hospital stay. Now, that doesn't include tests. Most of us, we go to the hospital, we do see doctors. Doctors bill for their time. If you've been to a hospital, even staying a couple of days, you might see 3 or 4 doctors that you don't even know. That they just rotate and they bill for every time they come into your room and talk to you for 5 minutes. Now, let's back up a little bit. We all have gone to the emergency room, right? And if you really want to kind of get to the bottom of what might be causing you an illness or causing you not to feel good, like going to your primary care doctor, they're just going to refer you to a specialist. So it can be a long process to figure out what's going on with you. So if there's something more urgent, we would go to ER, we would go to the emergency room. On average, an ER visit is between $1,300 and $2,500 per visit. If you get admitted, then you're admitted and you'll probably be there for at least a couple of days. Typically when we go to ER, when we're in a hospital for a stay, we have tests. We might have an x-ray, average $300. We might have an ultrasound, average $1,200. We might have a CAT scan, average $3,200. An MRI average is about $1,200. Now, we might have to have surgery. Now, the average person, I read one report that said the average person has approximately 9 surgeries in their lifetime. Some of us might have 1 or 2. I've had 5, 6, 7, 8 surgeries. The average cost of the most common surgeries that are performed today on people is $100,000. Now, back in 2005, I had a heart ablation procedure, which they go in through your groin typically and try to get rid of stray electrical signals to eradicate AFib, irregular heartbeat. That first procedure that I had, now I had insurance. I was working full time at the time, and I had insurance. But when I got the bill, and I didn't pay for anything at the time, the bill was $120,000 for a heart ablation, which I spent just an overnight stay in the hospital. So again, if you figure on average you're going to have maybe even 5 surgeries a year in a lifetime, that could be up to $500,000 plus the cost of the hospital stay, plus the cost of doctors. And on average, we're admitted into the hospital 4 to 5 times in our lifetime. Now, some of us, again, go through our whole lives without being admitted into the hospital. The first time I was admitted into the hospital was in 2005 when I had that heart ablation. And that was the first time I'd ever been into a hospital. But since then, I've been into a hospital quite a few times. I've had 5 heart ablations. I've been admitted into ER and into the hospital for a few days with multiple TIAs, which are temporary ischemic attacks. They're like mini strokes. I've had 3 strokes. I've had surgery to remove blood clots in my brain. I've had 3 different pacemakers installed where I've been in the hospital overnight for those. I've been in the hospital for a heart attack. So, it's cost me probably, who knows how much money. I would probably guess maybe $1 million, I don't know. But the whole reason for this is that the Sarasota Tim, and I'm not criticizing him. I understand where he's coming from. This is his math, this is his reasoning, but I think it's dangerous, very risky and dangerous for us to go without health insurance. Now, as far as what I do for health insurance, until I left my job in 2016, I was covered under my company's health insurance. The last few years, I think, I paid $100 a month for health insurance coverage. Most of the time I was employed, over the 35, 36 years or so that I was working a full-time job, most of that time I didn't pay anything for health insurance. It was covered 100% by the company. So what did I do since I left my full-time job? Now, for most of that time, I was covered by health insurance, which I paid for through the health insurance marketplace, healthcare.gov, I think it is. And today, since I've been married since 2021, we've had health insurance through healthcare.gov. Today we pay $329 a month to be covered for me and my wife. Now, it's not the best health insurance. We've got a $750 upfront copay that we have to meet before anything kicks in, which isn't bad today by any means. And then there's a maximum $7,000 out of pocket. But just my cataract surgery, I'm going to cover that for sure. So I think it's well worth it. Now, on the marketplace, you can get health insurance plans for no cost. It just depends what you want. And I really have to say that you have to do your own research with that, because if you go onto the healthcare.gov marketplace, there are so many plans. My wife and I, when we chose the plan that we have today, we spent a lot of hours looking for appropriate health insurance. We changed our health insurance for 2024, looking for something a little bit more affordable. So there's plans on there, like I said, from $0 to $1,000 a month or more, and that's with a big discount that healthcare.gov, the government actually co-pays a lot of that payment for us. So my advice is just to do the research. Now, I'm going to be 65 years old later on this year, so I have to dig into Medicare because I don't know anything about it. I've been getting a lot of things in the mail from Social Security and other companies, other healthcare providers. So I have to dig in and start doing some research, which I'm going to start doing next month. So that's a whole nother thing. And I have no idea what it costs or what supplemental plan, if I need a supplemental plan. I know there's Part A, there's Part B, there's Part C, Part D. It goes on and on. So I think it's rather complex. But there are people that can help you out with it, that are experts on Medicare and Medicaid and things like that. There's even people that can help you choose a supplemented plan through the marketplace. So just do your research, and you have to decide if you're somebody that is kind of prone to illness. Just think, even if we're totally healthy, things happen. We get into accidents, car accidents. That's not our fault. Even if we're really good drivers, we can get into an accident. We can break a leg. We can fall down, break a wrist. All kind of things can happen to us. It's a risky world out there. So my advice is to do your research, run the numbers, just think what it would cost you if something happened to you. You can find all these numbers online. You can just simply Google them. What does it cost to, if you break a leg, to have a bone set? Things like that. You can do all this research. So my friends, I hope this was helpful to you in some way. I'm just giving you my advice. Again, I'm not an expert, and I would never try to give anybody advice. I certainly would never tell anybody to just not have any health insurance. This Sarasota Tim, if you watch his channel, he's now on Medicare. I believe he turned 65 this year or last year or something. So and he has a supplemental plan as well. I know he's mentioned that several times. But it's worked out for him, So anyway, do your own research, use your own common sense. We all have common sense. We all have good intuition if we tap into it. So use your intuition, use your common sense, use your gut instinct, and make good decisions for you. Don't let anybody else tell you what to do. If you talk to an expert, listen to them, analyze the info, and make your own decision. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to you. Have a good day. Good health to you. I hope you all live long, good, healthy lives. And remember always to be a good human being, be kind and compassionate to others, and be useful to other people. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye. Many blessings to you.